channel. Stranded on an island in the middle of nowhere with only enough supplies to survive for one particular person. The question is, who will be that person? Or, better question is, who will be the Outlaster? And just as a heads up, we do want to let you know that there are going to be some spoilers ahead. If you're not familiar with the show, you may want to watch the show before you actually get into this episode. Off with Vince Masuka, who is another blood spatter analyst in the show. He, he might not be exactly skilled in anything, but he is actually does have skills in certain things, knowledge in, I want to say, some sexual disturbing things in nature, and on top of that, tolerance to pain. So you got to give the guy somewhat credit. Rita Bennett, or Rita Morgan, whichever way you want to call her, she's a tough cookie. Had 2 kids with an abusive ex-husband, and took quite a beating for a while. And eventually, even the ex-husband came back, and she proved that she was no longer who she used to be when she managed to lure him into the bedroom and then sucker punch him with a bat, and then run out before he could really do any damage while taking the kids with her. So she does show that she has cleverness. On top of that, she is going to do whatever it takes in order to get back, not only to get back, but in order to protect her babies. Joey Quinn. Now, there's not really a lot you can say about Joey Quinn besides the fact that he's somewhat of a good cop, but he's also somewhat of a crooked cop. He does have his anger issues and his drinking issues, but all in all, he does eventually go to the right path at the end and become a pretty dedicated police officer or detective. So you got to give him somewhat credit that he is a tough guy, and it wouldn't be that easy to take out in this competition. Maria LaGuardia. Now, that's an interesting woman who also has proven time and time again that she perseveres. She moved from the ranks in the Miami police force to become a captain. Yeah, running this precinct. And on top of that, she was one of the only people to discover Dexter's dirty little secret. I mean, she was the only one who was able to figure it out, along with a certain someone else, if you don't remember, who was her former partner. So yeah, Maria does show that she is a pretty tough cookie when it comes down to it. Angel Batista. Okay, so the man moved from detective to sergeant to captain. So he does have a way of making his way to the top when the moment arises. Along with that, one of the most impressive feats he's ever done was he knocked out Joey Quinn with just one punch. I mean, he was getting up on his sister and he just boom, clips him and he goes down for the count. So Angel Batista would really, if he were to take a swing at anybody, he'd probably put a lot of these guys down, because not everybody here is tough. There's only a handful of people that are tough enough to handle a punch like that. Deborah Morgan. Okay, let's get into a couple things. She's got a foul mouth. She's tough as nails. She's one of their best detectives in Miami because she was able to solve a lot of crimes. She's very clever, and she's also tough. She'll take anyone on, even if it is a guy. But let's talk about the things she has accomplished during this whole entire experience of her life. For starters, she had to make one of the most toughest decisions of her life by having to take out someone she has known and considered to be a mentor in her way, in her kind of sense of her way. Maria LaGuardia, just because she wanted to save her brother's life. Another situation was that she psychologically got passed over this ice truck killer guy who was actually dating her for a long period of time and was planning on killing her. So that actually took a toll on her, and she still managed to persevere from that situation. Another situation when happened, this one is one of her impressive ones. She took a bullet into the gut, was bleeding out in the parking lot, had to witness the person she cared for so deeply die in front of her. And as she was bleeding out, she thought she was going to die, and she actually survived with that. So, Deborah Morgan, hands down, #1 contender so far in this fight. Sergeant James Dokes. Okay, he was a sergeant. Top of that, Special Forces. He used to be in the military. Guy was one of the, I think he was in the Black Ops. And on top of that, he was the only one to discover, was very first in the very beginning to discover Dexter had a dirty secret, or a dark secret behind him, before anyone else could figure it out. And he was the one who caught him red-handed too. Let's just get real. All right, let me just talk about the stuff he has done. He put Joe down on his feet, okay? Not down on the ground without even trying really. And he even had Dokes on a grip, like a choke kind of grip, where he couldn't, like, he had his arm and everything like that, and pushed him against the wall while holding him. So Dexter does have martial arts skills, plus he can take on people bigger than him. But let's not get it twisted. Don't forget, the guy is a professional killer, okay? he has killed because based on Harry, his father's codes on how to avoid getting caught. So he knows how to keep a low radar when it comes to it. At the same time, the man keeps his dark passenger at bay because obviously if he gave him full control, he would just be killing everyone left and right. But that being said, Dexter is just probably more of a pro when it comes to taking a life, and he might be able to take out half of the competition considering he has the martial arts skills, and on top of that, he's taken on people much more muscular than him, bigger than him, taller than him, even probably taking on more than one person at a time. So let's just keep that in mind. All right, process of elimination time. Who's gonna make it? Let's get rid of Vince. Okay, Masuka, not gonna make it. Let's get real. No skills, pain tolerance isn't really enough. It's like just saying that you can take a beating from a bully. It's not really enough to show that you can actually survive against people who are more skilled in the police force. So yeah, he goes. Next person, Rita. Again, not a police person, has no experience. She's just an ordinary housewife, no offense. And there's not really any, like, she doesn't take martial arts as the seasons go by or anything, so she has no experience. So I'm sad to say that she would get eliminated, but she'd get eliminated by Maria because I don't think Deb would have the heart to do it. I think Joey takes on James because obviously two alpha males in that instance are going to meet up and they're going to want to go mano a mano. I think Angel goes against Dexter in the meantime, and that leaves Deb with Maria. Now, Deb and Maria, that's going to be an interesting one. But all in all, I got to say that Maria gets the next one to get thrown away in this competition or get tossed out of the island because Maria hasn't been able or needed to use her skills for a very long period of time, you know, compared to Deb, who actually has been using her skills and she's still fresh, still, in her mind compared to Maria, who hasn't really exactly been using her police style fighting tactics for a long time. So I do think having little years of less of actually using your experience is going to take a disadvantage to you in that way. James versus Joey, I think James takes Joey out. Special forces, come on guys, he was special forces. Special forces against somebody with some police skills, crooked cop, not gonna work. Like I said, Joey goes eliminated. And then I think Angel also gets eliminated by, Dexter, because Dexter, even though Angel does have a mean swing, Dexter does have the martial arts experience, and I do believe some different types of unique technique is going to be able to maneuver around just one good swing. So yeah, I do believe Angel gets eliminated in that way. So now it comes down to James, Dokes, Deb, and Dex. Now this is where it gets interesting because obviously James has got the skills, he's tough, he's big, it's not going to be easy to take. That being said, this is where it becomes very interesting or much of a challenge. So Deb is tough, but not going to be tough enough to take James out. So it's going to be Deb and Dex going 2-on-1 against him. Obviously, James is tough enough to eliminate one of them at one point, which would obviously be Deb. And with the rage that Dex would feel from that, he'd probably let his dark passenger take the full wheel on that. And in that situation, I have to say that Dex would take James out, and hands down. His dark passenger is probably going to be a lot more stronger than whatever James will bring to the table, leaving Dexter Morgan, the Outlaster. Anyways, do you agree or disagree? Feel free to leave it down in the section below. Just please be respectful. And as always, no press fan. We really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.